Welcome, day 3 USATF championships in the books. We're an hour late because there's a lot of finals. I was in the mix zone. And let me tell you, all of the top 3 finishers, they all came into the mix zone basically at the same time. So it was a little chaos trying to get, reaction quotes from all the top winners all at the same time. Kevin, my colleague, is still there. We're staying in an Airbnb that's like 2 blocks away from the track. So you sprint. It's hot out here. So I might be dripping a little bit sweat. I had to change my shirt. I had to dry off my face. But we did it all for you guys. We're excited. Day 3. And it ended with what we thought would. It ended with the ending that we thought we would get. It ended, which is hard to do. It's really hard to break a world record when everyone expects you to break a world record. Typically, world records are broken unexpectedly. Like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, a big surprise. There's no buildup. But every time Sydney McLaughlin now steps on the track for notable races, there's an expectation that she has to run all-time great marks. And she did just that. She runs 51-41. Some call it a season's best. Some call it a personal best. We can just call it the world record because Sydney McLaughlin now has the 2 fastest times ever run over 400-meter hurdles. Not only that, she has 4 of the fastest 5 times ever run in the 400-meter hurdles. They have yet to update the all-time list, but now she has the number 1, the number 2, the number 4, and the number 5. Only Dalilah Muhammad, who wasn't in this race, has run in the Sydney McLaughlin tier. Like, there's a new tier now. There's the McLaughlin tier. And the only one invited is Sydney and Dalilah from last year. It's a very exclusive club. It's hard to get in. It's hard to get into it. There's a very complex password, but the password is be one of the greatest runners that we've ever seen, and you get to be in Sydney McLaughlin's company. But let's just break down this race. It is incredible to see a 400-meter hurdle stagger get made up on an elite athlete in Britton Wilson within the first 2 hurdles, maybe 2 to 3 hurdles. On the back stretch, Sydney had already made up the stagger, which had to have been super confusing for the competition to her right, because you're like, wait a minute, I'm getting caught now? There's still like 300 meters to go. This doesn't make any sense. But when you're running in the Sydney McLaughlin era, what doesn't make sense happens. And Sydney, with all the poise, just controls the entire race, has no real motivation or person to push her. She could have easily just decided, I'm going to cruise, run 53 low, call it a day, get ready for Worlds. Like, she did not need to run as fast as she did. And I think she needs to be given credit for doing, because we're seeing at this World Championships, athletes just trying to get through. Athletes, having the bye and then scratching or running a different event or, saving it for Worlds. She decided to throw down the world record 3 weeks out from the World Championships. She's not she doesn't need to save anything. She doesn't need to perfect her peak, because she is talented enough to throw down a world record without any necessity to it, because now world records are her new yearly goals. Like, every time she's how old is Sydney, Kevin? 22?
22, I think.
For the next 8 years, her yearly goal is going to be just run the world record. That's the yearly goal now. So she did it last year. She did it this year. Step 1, world record. Step 2, win the global title. And it's going to be hard for her to be beat. I think the only way Sydney is ever going to get beat now in the next 4 years is she has a stomach bug or a cramp and just isn't her normal self, or she mistakenly trips and falls on one of the hurdles. But outside of that, no one is toe-to-toe talent versus talent, known as being Sydney in our generation. Kevin,
I'm here.
you're here a lot earlier. I've only done like 4 minutes of Sydney talk.
Can I join the pod?
You can join the pod. This is now a 2-person pod.
I was told that I need to make sure I'm here for the first half
Yes.
of the pod.
Yeah.
I'm responding to customer feedback. So, hello everyone. This is Kevin. I'm here.
Yes.
Sydney.
Any last thoughts on Sydney?
So, anything's possible. She said that a bunch of times, which for her, it's actually true. Most people say
Anything?
Anything. Most people say that. Kevin Garnett yelled it after the Celtics won the championship. With Sydney, it's actually true. I asked, what I want to know was, hey, we always thought those records came when you had great competition because it was back and forth, her and Muhammad. But this, there wasn't any. I mean, second and third ran really well, but it was all Sydney from the get-go. And I said, well, 400 hurdles, like, do you need that competition? And I'm starting to wonder, can this just be kind of a solo act where she's just crushing it by herself? But I thought she was going to do it based off of how she ran yesterday. She was super comfortable, controlled, relaxed. We knew it based on the Nashville race with the hurdles in the wrong spot and what she ran. This was not unexpected in any way, shape, or form. And I think the point about needing to come up with new goals is dead on, because what she's achieved in the 400 hurdles in just a few years is remarkable, and you're checking off all the boxes. She doesn't have a world title, so presumably she'll get that in 3 weeks' time. But it's going to take something remarkable for that to change. So, world record, I called it. Do I get bonus points on our picks?
No, you don't get bonus points.
No bonus points.
We'll talk about our picks later in the pod. You talk about this. Okay, Sydney, Olympic champion.
Yeah.
Breaking world record. She owns 4 of the fastest 5 times ever.
Yeah.
She's probably going to win global title
in
3 weeks from now. Should Sydney step away from the 400 hurdles and move into a new event and try to rack up titles, records in a new event? Because she has nothing left to do in this 400-meter hurdles outside of winning global title.
Yeah.
You could argue, you want to win multiple, win 5 years in a row's worth or whatever.
Yeah.
But she has the times. She's clearly going to win. But, should Sydney at this age decide to just do, a little bit of, change of scenery and, become a quarter runner, run the 400, maybe even try to get really good, pull a Fred Curley, become a 200 runner.
200. I've talked about this before, even after that Nashville race. She got to GOAT status super quick.
Yeah.
And not in the way of everybody's a GOAT all the time now, because that's the era we live in. She got to that point in 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. Or she will get, if you're saying, okay, she needs a world championship gold and she needs another all-time mark, then okay, whatever. We'll have this conversation again and come back and see me in a month. But because she's done that, you could make that argument, hey, she's checked off all the boxes. I think it just comes down to what she's interested in doing. Is it continuing to just dominate and rack up medals? Because that sounds awesome to me. And I think most athletes would take that. Is it, I want to push myself in another event? Then she go to the 4. She's fortunate that she has that other event. Mondo Duplantis doesn't really have that other event. It's not as if he's going to say, all right, let's pick up what's this javelin all about? How does this, okay, it's really sharp on one side. That's kind of fun. Maybe I can learn to do that.
It's a short pole vault.
Yeah. Mondo, obviously a great athlete, but doesn't have that companion event 400 hurdles. I would imagine 400 is tough to train for, but I imagine 400 hurdles even more grueling and stressful. Maybe that just takes off some strain, some stress, and she could lengthen her career. But I guess we could have this conversation again in 3 weeks after she just tears it up again at the World Championships. But there's a clear path to where this is going and where this has been, and it's her dominating this event for as long as she wants to.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, we say this about, I was saying a little bit about Fred Curley yesterday, but when you see these great athletes just actually pull off great performances, it makes you
makes you feel like it's easy or routine.
Yeah, it makes
expected.
It's easy, and it also kind of makes you not appreciate it as much. Because now it's become an expectation, and it's when you see it over and over again, you're like, greatness is only supposed to happen once every 10 years, once every 5 years, once every Olympic cycle. But for it to happen multiple times in a 2-year period, you kind of dilute your greatness.
No. You enhance your greatness, but it becomes diluted from the outside. I didn't feel.
I just wanted to use the word dilute.
Yeah, you used it incorrectly, but that's okay. Now, I wasn't in the stadium for this one. We were in the media area doing interviews, and I was watching it, but maybe it's just because the fans, the size of the crowd wasn't as big. But yeah, this one didn't feel like it had that much whoa to it because we've expected it. Like we saw it coming. Wow, you can brace yourself for it because I was there in Des Moines when Muhammad got it. Right, we all watched what happened and I was there in Doha. Like all these great moments of over the last couple of years of 400-meter hurdling. It's just been them outdoing themselves like over and over again. But yeah, we've gotten to a point where she's so good that you just have an expectation of, well, could she be 0.01 better today? Yeah, probably. Like the Tokyo race was this historic, amazing, crazy. Could that be a once in a lifetime event? You said winning time this year could be low 52s.
Yeah.
You thought there would be a little bit of a regression to the mean.
It still could be.
Well, it could be for two of that big three could still be in that spot, but it's clearly it was Sydney just scratching the surface in 2019 and in 2021. And could she go? That might be the biggest jump of time left in her career, going from trials in 21 to a world champion or Olympics in 21. But you can't tell me she's not gonna be able to go 0.01 faster off of this.
You can go 0.01 faster in anything.
Yeah. Well,
and if that's
a point,
is there a point though? Yeah. Like could I be 0.01 faster tomorrow if I do that every day?
Yeah, you hit a wall. You can't run a 0-second 100. But my point being, she didn't have any comp, and maybe that's the problem with every world record holder. Eventually, unless you're in the greatest era of all time, which we were for a little bit, but you run out of competition. But I don't know, like the weather, the conditions. We know the track is quick. She's done well here now for 2 years running, but the hurdles are so much technical stuff you could fix and clean up and change. And I want to see her in a quarter just because I want to see what she's capable of in that event.
I want to see her try to win 2 individual golds in the same championship.
Yeah, but I don't know if she's
like a 400 hurdle double. That would be fun.
Yeah, because if you really are the greatest of all time at that young age, you'd get to the point where you're also like, well, why do I need to do that double? Like I'm still going to be the greatest 400 hurdler of all time, whether or not I do that or I don't.
But she should find a way to win a 400 hurdle title in like 53 seconds,
and then run
the 400 all out in 48, and then you have 2 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was obviously the race of the day.
Yeah. Gordon didn't watch it live, by the way. Gordon was doing an interview because he's dedicated to his job,
my craft,
and he turned around and I said, "Sydney set the world record."
And I was like, "Dang it!"
So I broke the news to him.
You broke the news.
It's kind of like when you broke the news on this pod that Duke lost. I know Colt remembers that. Producer Colt.
Coach K has retired from basketball.
That was breaking. Just came across the wire.
All right, people want to hear about track, not my
bad picks.
Hey, Duke, 5 draft picks.
That's right. That's right.
Very, very good basketball team. All right.
Can I see the comments on the?
What do we want to talk about next? It's a lot of finals, but we have
Let's just go in inverse order.
We're going inverse? Okay.
Reverse order, yeah.
So we're going to go in reverse order. So we're going to go into the women's 100 hurdles, and then we're going to end with the 200s. So
yeah,
we'll have our Sha'Carri takes later on in the pod.
Yeah.
But women's 100 hurdles, Kenny Harrison gets the job done.
Yeah.
World lead, 12:34.
Good run.
Alicia Johnson, 12:35. Very close. That's very impressive. She's been ascending. And Aaliyah Armstrong, the collegiate, outgunning Tanya Marshall. Great team. Kenny Harrison, 12:34.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have thought, I think have decided to give the torch to Jasmine Camacho Quinn, right? After last year.
Yeah.
She's a favorite.
Yeah, she's still there.
But Kenny Harrison running 12:34, she said in her interview, she says she thought she could have ran 12:2 today if she didn't hit the last hurdle.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Can Kenny Harrison get back that mojo of being the one to beat?
I think she can put it back into the zone of if something goes wrong with Camacho Quinn or the hurdle, because the hurdles are, by their very nature, they're supposed to be predictable. You see greatness for a while and you take for granted that there's 10 barriers and they're moving very fast over them. I think she's moving into the territory where she can capitalize. Last year, Camacho Quinn, head and shoulders above everybody else. I still think Camacho Quinn is a favorite. Nothing in this race changed it. Johnson, great. She was pretty far back in the beginning and then had a nice comeback there. And then Aaliyah Armstrong, 12:47, comes in third. What was Aaliyah Armstrong in the semi? I feel like she was a little farther back in the semi. Nia Ali also didn't run, but she's got the bye as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be those 4, and she looked pretty good. Aaliyah Armstrong, yeah, she was third in her semi, 12:68. So, Harrison gets a title real close at the end there. Johnson, what she was doing early in the season just carried over. So
she's still unsponsored. Do you think she's going to be sponsored now?
I thought she'd be. Well, here's the problem with the hurdles: the semis and the finals are on the same day. If they would space them out, maybe she runs something fast in the semi, and then sponsored. They have a time to get sponsored. But yeah, clearly she's. If you're just doing this on merit,
come on.
Yeah, she's
the second fastest woman in the world right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say, even if you want to be like, well, there's some other people out there, you would have to make a silly argument to get her out of top 5. So top 5 in the high hurdles, I think she should be sponsored. What she's running for More Sports MG right now. Yeah. We don't know the economics of this stuff though. It's really hard to figure out like what's going on. You want to talk about the quarter, men's quarter?
Yeah, men's quarter. Michael Norman, bro, 43.56, world lead. Okay. Is Michael Norman doing this to us? Is Michael Norman going to pull us back in to think that he can win the title?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all the Stephen Gardner fans out there, and Stephen Gardner himself is like, guys, I'm still the guy who shows up when it counts. Are you getting tempted to go back on the Michael Norman train?
Well, this is why it's different than 2019. 2019, he runs a 43.45 Mount Sac early season. You could say, all right, that was in some ways analogous to the 43.6 at Pre. He didn't win 2019. Greg Curley beat him in 2019
that's true.
at USA's. This time he got the job done, and he did it against champion Allison, running 43.70, running an amazing race out of lane number 4. Yeah, that's why I thought I'm watching this. I'm thinking Norman's going to do something big just based on the semi yesterday. But he was so close to Allison still at the end. I thought, okay, well, maybe it's not that fast. And then the time pops up, 43.56. Yeah. I mean, who else besides Gardner is out there right now?
I mean, it was
in the world.
It was raw. I mean, Karani James.
Okay.
But I don't know. Randolph Ross, we thought would be maybe potentially. But Ross falls to third here. Still makes a team.
Yeah.
He's had a long season though. But you could also argue champion Allison had a long season. But Ross was putting a little more effort indoor with, putting the team on his back.
Sure.
Win the indoor 400. But champion Allison, you could. It's Norman and Gardner. That's the clear one too.
And I think I would still have Gardner. As the favorite.
We can't
based on the past. But
yeah, we can't be fooled like 4 times.
But he's put himself in a really good spot, coming off of what he did 5th last year at the Olympic final. It would be a complete shock if he finishes that far back, because he's showing consistency now.
I feel like if I pick Norman to win, he's going to lose. But if I pick Norman to lose, he's going to win.
Yeah.
So Norman, sorry, you're going to lose.
I'm going to wait. I'm waiting. I'm not making world championship picks right now on this pod.
Why not?
Just because I want to see what happens in the next couple of weeks, because some people might actually race. But 43.56, if you told him going in, you're going to improve on your pre-time after running through rounds, you'd be taking that.
So, earlier in the year, I said there's 2 types of 400-meter runners.
Yeah.
There's the Tony McQuays, and then there's the LaShawn Merritts.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense that we should look at this top 8, and I should tell them if they are LaShawn Merritt runner or they're Tony McQuay.
Yeah. Is Norman a LaShawn Merritt?
So we're going to put up the results here. Colt, put up the results. So, of the 400. First, Ismail Turner got 8th. No one saw that coming from UCLA.
Yeah, good run.
He's not a Tony McQuay, though. He's still just a college kid. Noah Williams, he's a verge of Tony McQuay.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet, but I think he's probably going to become a Tony McQuay, but he's not officially a Tony McQuay. Bryce Dedman, Vernon Norwood, Elijah Godwin, those are marquee Tony McQuay type.
Well, Godwin's
runners.
still college, though.
Yeah.
Pretty good run. Gets PB.
I know, but that's Tony McQuay.
Yeah.
Tony McQuay was great in college, too.
Yeah. Is there a level between that or no?
No.
One of the
Godwin, Norwood, Dedman, they're all Tony McQuays.
Mm-hmm.
Williams, Verge, Turner, not applicable. Randolph Ross. This is the hard one. I want to put Randolph Ross in the LaShawn Merritt category. But he may just be like the best Tony McQuay.
Well, he
might be like peak Tony McQuay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or like or bad Merritt. He's like a bad LaShawn Merritt, a great Tony McQuay. This is my great skill. This is Gordon Mack skill. No one gets it. Champion Allison,
It's too soon to tell.
I may want to put him Tony McRae, Florida.
No, you can't do that. You got to see what he does next.
You got to see what he does next.
He could mess around and get a medal.
He could. And then Michael Norman, he's LaShawn Merritt. He's 100% LaShawn Merritt.
He's the Michael Norman, I think.
He's Michael Norman. And then Michael Cherry. I want to put him in Merritt. We'll have to wait, see what he does at Worlds. Is he hurt? Is he fine?
Well, he got the waiver to not compete, so I'm guessing that means he had to document some sort of injury.
I think what's going to happen is if Norman or Allison or Ross or Cherry get a medal, they're in my LaShawn Merritt status. The rest, they're in the Tony McRae. And again, if you're a Tony McRae runner, you're an amazing 400-meter runner.
Yeah, you're top 8 consistently in the U.S.
Getting medals.
You're getting a ton of medals. You're running on relay teams. You're making an individual team.
So it's a compliment.
Every now and then. 43.56, Michael Norman. That's good. That's good.
So freaking fast.
That's good.
He's he's being what we thought he would be.
Second fastest time ever. It probably deep down bothers him to know that this PB is from Mount Zach. Yeah. I think part of him is just like, I need to smash that thing.
I need my PB to be
I want a freaking 43.2. That's what I want.
We might get it. We can get 43.2 from Norman 3 weeks from now.
I think we're going to get something fast. I think it's going to take something below his PB to win. So I think he's going to need to run faster than his PB to win. But
I will be impressed if Allison or Ross medal at Worlds because they've had long seasons.
Yeah.
But Norman, looking good.
The medal favorites in no particular order are James, Gardner, and Norman.
Yeah. Women's 400, Allison Felix.
Well, no, let's start with the top here.
No, we're
start with Felix? Okay.
I'm going to start with the story. Allison Felix said in the mix zone that this was her final 400-meter run of her life.
Open
400-meter run of her life, of her career. She might jog a 400 with her kids one day later on, but this is it. No more 400. She's not running. No more Diamond Leagues. No more races in October, August, whatever. This was it. She knew it last night. She said she was thinking about it while, in the hotel. And she put it all out there. She didn't have it. She said she knew she wasn't going to really be a factor. She says she also doesn't really like the 400. She says it's not, because it's hard, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard. 200 and she ran some 100s. And
But,
didn't she say she was happy in a way?
Yeah, she said
just have to worry about the relay.
She was happy that she didn't make the team. She's happy that she always has to worry about the relay.
Yeah.
She even was saying maybe I'll just be on the co-ed relay because you look at Sydney and Mo, they deserve to be on the main 4x4.
She was saying it was a better fit for her, I think, was the way she phrased it, which I thought was very honest of her.
Yeah.
I give her a ton of credit for that.
Because let's be honest, we have a bunch of potential 48 splitting women out there.
Yeah. Well, then you got 5 women who ran sub 51 seconds in this race.
So they might want to because she is the name, they might want to try to put her on the prelim of it, but
the mixed gender 4x4 makes sense because she's in that 5 through 8 range.
Yeah.
And you could run her in the first round and you could run her in both rounds if you want. They didn't win last time. They didn't win
they didn't win the
not
mixed relay?
in Tokyo. Remember? They didn't win. So they could use her in that race. I don't know. It would be interesting last race, an event that didn't exist a few years ago, because she's been running and competing at the World Championships since 2007. So it'd be strange that her last race would be in that event. But man, she 6th again. That's to make the final based on what this season was supposed to be. It's impressive. I don't know what she seemed to know that she just didn't have that level, but a couple weeks ago in Poland, she was running 50.7. She goes 50.7 today. She's on it, but I mean, I think she knows. She's been around so long. Yeah, she knows what Miller Weibo has, right? Polino,
she's all those I ain't running 49.
Yeah. She knows what it takes, and I think Diggs, Ellis, and Irby get the spots. Diggs didn't need a PB and still won.
Yeah, Talitha Diggs, kind of, we put her as the favorite, and that's a lot of pressure to put the favorite on a college kid who was never really talked about.
Didn't win SECs.
Didn't even win SECs, and all of a sudden we're like, we think you're going to win USAs.
Yeah.
Typically that doesn't go well. Typically, maybe a Kendall Ellis or Irby or a Felix, whatever, will find a way to win it.
Yeah.
But she kind of met the unrealistic expectation of following up NCAAs with a win at USAs.
Yeah.
Florida, 400-meter U potentially. I mean, you see Champion Allison do well in the gets second. Now it's Letha Diggs getting first here in the women's side. But Ellis and Irby putting it together when it counts.
Season's best.
Both had season's best. We expect those women to be in this position, and we were waiting for it. And this maybe they were waiting too, and they were waiting for this moment. Waddle Jonathas falls to fourth. She'll still be in the relay pool. But yeah, Diggs, she could be the future of the 400.
Yeah.
Here's my question that I have of this 400 though. Are you taking any of these women and putting them on the women's 4x4 final for Team USA?
I think it depends on at least one, and then I think it depends on how fast Muhammad runs in the 400 hurdles and what she's capable of, what they figure out that she's capable of. But yeah, I think
because Sydney and the Thing have the spots.
100%. So it's 2 spots, and yeah, someone from the 2 could move up, but I think that one of those 3
will be given one of the spots.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Hayes is in the mix too. So one of the 4 are going to be given the spots, if not a second person. I'd be surprised if they go dip into the 200-meter pool with 8 women to choose from, because they don't need. You have Sydney and a Thing Mo. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, but, have Diggs, Ellis, or Irby.
Yeah, I mean, 40. Diggs is around 49.
Because I'm just thinking about the SEC 4x4 where the 3 anchors all split 48 or 49 seconds.
So like you're saying, like Britton Wilson, maybe.
Britton Wilson,
50,
obviously
50,
Abby Steiner.
Yeah.
Those women can split.
I guess I didn't
world class splits.
Yeah, I guess Wilson is one that I didn't think about immediately, but I think they're going to want to throw a couple.
I mean, Wilson straight up beat Letha Diggs in a 400.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if they're going to use the SEC results in order to predict. And if Diggs makes the final and gets in the top 5, I think she's going to be on the team. I think they do want to try to put some 400-meter runners on there. I don't think it's intentional. It's just the other in Tokyo, they were so good. And listen, they're going to be fine regardless.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Again, we're moving in reverse order. Men's 3K steeple. Evan Jager. When was he last good? 2017?
Well, it's been 4 years, he said. So 18?
18?
Yeah.
No, he didn't run at 18. Did he even run at 18?
I think the main injury stuff was in.
Okay. But it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been most people's careers. Yeah. Most people's careers are as long as his, distance from being in, top 3 position at the U.S. Gets the standard. He needed the standard. It was not really close. He ran 8:17. Standard was 8:22.
Yeah.
Gets second. You interviewed him.
Yeah.
What was his thoughts on being back to where he's been for such a long time?
Yeah, he ranked it up there. He was listing all his other accomplishments, which are numerous and very impressive, ranking it up there with that. And he said, this whole time has been a real big struggle with injuries. He's doubted himself more than he's believed in himself. Before this race, he tried to pump himself up. I said, hey, did you enjoy being an underdog? I didn't use the word sleeper because I didn't want to give you any credit. I said, did you enjoy being the underdog and having some pressure off? And he's like, well, not really, because when you're a favorite, that means you're really good. And he also said, tactically, he's got to be a lot smarter now. He said, before, it doesn't matter. Really, when you go in, you're the big favorite in these U.S. championship races. You can control the race. You can respond to moves.
Yeah.
And he's just a different runner now. He's starting to feel like his old self. I just thought it was a cool moment immediately after the race ended. He falls to the track, emotional, and then Bohr and Keeter come right over because they know
he's the guy.
Jager's history in this event, and what he's done.
He took it
for the
to
steeple.
the next level.
Yeah. He made it so the steeple is an event where the U.S. can medal in, and it's not the most far-fetched thing. I liked to pivot to Bohr for a second. His celebration, he was fired up across the line.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't? You interviewed him.
I was interviewing. I didn't.
Okay, he was pumped up.
It's hard to walk and chew gum and interview at the same time.
It was,
and watch track.
It was a great celebration.
What was the celebration?
Oh, he just was like pumping his way far out.
Okay,
it was awesome. I enjoyed it, and
it was like a TikTok dance.
No, it was just fist pump. It was just. I don't know. It's just cool to see some emotion.
He did a really good fist pump. That's what you're trying.
Couple. Like he started early
like
though.
Both hands?
It was earlier than I thought. I don't listen. I wasn't expected to be quizzed on this. He demurred when I said, "Hey, are you the favorite?" 2 days ago, because he said, "I just went to Europe. A lot of these guys haven't gone to Europe. That's the main difference. They can run this fast if they got into Europe." I also want to point out third, getting that final spot, Bernard Keeter.
Yeah.
Some of us doubted Mr. Keeter on this pod. I was not one of those. I'm absolutely destroying Gordon in the picks contest, by the way.
I don't think you are.
He's updating it as we
I'll
go.
I'll update it while you talk about.
Well, no, we can show it when I have my winnings all assembled. But yeah, I was confident in Keeter, and he got the job done. But yeah, Jaeger, it's just everything was going against him heading into this meet. It was trending one way so clearly. And I thought, yeah, it's this guy's run. He's had this awesome run, but clearly he doesn't have it. He's run enough times for us to know who he is. And to pull it out and get that second place spot and to make another team was a throwback performance for him. I mean, that's just 8:17. He's obviously run faster, but it just goes to show you not all teams are equal. If Evan Jaeger finished second and ran 8:17 in 2016 Olympic trials, he would have considered it a failure. And today it was a triumph for him.
Duncan Hamilton,
your guy,
my boy, I picked him to make team. He gets fourth, a close fourth. Post-race interview, he says he wants to break Henry Rono's collegiate record next year of 8:05. Do you think he can do it?
Wow.
That's what he said.
And I'm always going to bet on Henry Rono's records because they're insane. That's a good quote.
If he thinks he can break the record, and then all of a sudden Duncan Hamilton's running 8:05 in 2023.
What's his PB?
I think he just ran it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, no. His PB is probably like in the 8:17 range.
18s. Okay. Go for it. Go for it, man. Shoot your shot.
I mean, he's in college. You might as well try to break a college record, right?
Yeah, 8:18 there. By the way, Colt just navigating this results site like an absolute champion.
Yes.
Just great job, Colt, bringing stuff up that we need right when we need it. But Bohr, man, if we're looking at where this is going to lead us to at Worlds, with Germa and El Bakali, like all these sub-8 guys, they're going to need to level up, all of them. And Bohr has been in the mix before, but that's going to be a tough race, and it's going to be tough for the U.S. to get through to the final. But for today, for this moment, it was cool. It was a cool race. Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
Now for the most complicated race. Again, we're going in reverse order from the start.
Get out that Galifianakis gif with all the numbers.
So men's 1500 goes down. 4 men had the standard, but a few men had a really good world ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's before we talk about who's on the team, let's just talk about the race.
Yeah,
race slow as shit. That's what we call it. You told me they were out in 1:54, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be quick." But then you said with 800 meters to go.
Yeah, that was a 700 split.
I thought it was an 800 meter split you were giving me.
Classic 700 meter split.
You're giving me a 700 meter split because that's a normal thing to talk about. But it was slow, so basically anything could happen, and that's what happened. I mean, who had John Davis, Eric Holt, and Reed Brown in their top 5?
Yeah. And Holt went for it, too. He made that big move, and everybody responded to it, and you were waiting for him to fall back, but he just stuck with it. He was just there and in the mix and was hanging on by his fingernails over the final stride. But ultimately, Tier just waited and waited and waited. He was the best guy in this field. The 1,500 versus 5,000 was an interesting debate, but I think this settled it.
And I think the vibe I got when I talked to him is that he's probably going to scratch the 5.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why run 5,000 if you don't have to? And I think it's going to be tough to medal for him, but it would have been tough to medal for him in the 5,000. But yeah, really slow. Thompson gets third behind Davis. He'll go because he had the standard. Davis will not because he doesn't have the standard.
Well, Thompson does not have the standard.
I mean, he has the world ranking.
Which we'll get to later, but before we talk about...
we'll get into it right now.
No, I need to talk about Yard Nagus, who finished 11th.
Okay.
I think a lot of people had him making the team.
We both had him making the team.
And he was in position, and then with 250 to go, everyone just passed him, and he didn't have it. The wheels fell off. I asked him what happened, and he just says, I don't know. Like, it was one of those days. And it was kind of weird to talk to him because it's like, dude, like, you just like...
Did you say dude?
No, I thought the word dude.
Okay.
And then I said something else. I said Yared, but in my head, I thought
dude. Okay.
And I was like, dude, aka Yared, like, you seem kind of in a good mood. Like
Mhm.
he doesn't seem devastated, and he just kind of had a level set like mindset. Is like it's okay. There's always next year, and like I'm looking forward to like getting back to my normal self. He just had like a good like mindset. He came off very like level headed,
Positive.
which I thought was really really cool. And then I also asked like, what are your thoughts on the 3 guys who made the team last year, the top 4 finishers?
Yeah.
Last year, because Craig didn't even run this year. But
Yeah, Craig didn't run. Central didn't run. Nagus didn't make the team, and
Hawker didn't make the final.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
3 of the 4 didn't even make the final.
Like I was like, why is that? He's like, because 1500's crazy, man. He's like, anything can happen. Like it's a
Well, it's crazy, but it's also Centro is hurt and older, and Engels is older too.
Stop it! You're putting too much nuance in the take.
Yeah,
Come
this
on.
was not this. You didn't need to do this digression. I'm glad you talked to him. It's awesome that you talked to him. Shout out your Goose. Still weirdest season ever.
Yes,
it got even weirder.
Weird. Yes,
like if he made the team, it wouldn't have been strange, and it wouldn't have matched up with the rest of the season. Gets the 3K indoor record, then goes to NCAA indoors and doesn't get a title, and then
doesn't qualify for NCAA outdoors,
and then runs a 334.
And
then looks
on the same weekend.
Yeah, and then runs the prelim. Looks like he's good, and then he gets way back there. But John Davis, just amazing run.
Yeah,
blows away expectations. Josh Thompson 3, and then we talked about Holt there in 4, Rebound in 5, and Gregoric 6. Do I get points for Gregoric if he makes the team?
No, you don't get no points. It's top 3 or bust. Okay, so here's who's made the team. Cooper Tier is going because he has the world standard.
That's easy, yeah.
Jonathan Davis is not going because he doesn't have the world standard and his world ranking is not good. Josh Thompson, his world ranking is good.
Yeah.
So he's going to the team. Eric Holt, we're going to skip him for now because he was a bubble guy. Reed Brown, not going on a team because he didn't have a good enough world ranking or the standard. And Johnny Gregoric is actually going to make the team because he has a standard. So it really came down to Gregoric versus Holt. Holt finished 4th. So if Holt was eligible, USATF would select him.
Yeah.
And the question is, would Holt be eligible? Holt was ranked in like the 70s going into this race.
What do you got to be?
Ranking, top 45.
Okay.
He was in the 70s. Holt needed getting 4th place at USA's means you get plus 60 points on your ranking. But it's only plus 60 points on 1/5 of your total score.
Makes sense.
Obviously.
Sense. Classic formula.
But now he's only getting plus 60 points on 1/5 of his score, but he ran 3:46, which is not a fast time.
Yeah.
So his plus 60 points did nothing for him because it was a slow time he added to. And therefore, in the eyes of the world athletics, in the eyes of the orbiters of the world rankings.
Arbiters.
What did I say?
Orbiters, like they're orbiting around.
Yeah, arbiter, same thing.
Okay.
They take your top 5 results, and that's your ranking.
Right.
In the eyes of world athletics, Eric Holt finishing 4th at USA Championships was not a top 5 result
of his career,
of his season.
Yeah, even his career.
Or
you
his
say
career.
This would be number 1.
Yeah,
this is it.
But because it was a 3:46 race, if he gets 4th and it was a 3:37 race, it probably would have been a top 5 result for him. But because
why don't they just throw out when it comes to 1500s, just throw out the time portion, or you make a subjective call? This is being marked and put into the pile of tactical races.
Yes, be tactical versus non-tactical.
Yeah, you give it a T. And then
so
move on.
Basically, as a result, Holt wasn't really able to improve his ranking, so his ranking is going to stay outside of top 45. So therefore, the team is Cooper Tier, Josh Thompson, and Johnny Gregoric.
One funny thing before we move on, talk to Gregoric. Hey, were you keeping tabs on who had the standard, who was in the world rankings quota when you run? Like, no, you can't focus on that stuff. You just got to focus on your race, try to get top 3 because you never know what's going to happen. I asked the same question to Josh Thompson. Oh, yeah, we definitely knew who had the standard. We knew who was where on the world rankings, who I needed to beat, because you see with 5 meters to go, he actually takes he looks, he turns it around. He knew exactly where he needed to be in order to make the team.
So that's the men's 1500. Women's 1500, again, going in reverse order.
A little bit of surprise, yeah.
A little bit, but not really. I think the big surprise is how fast Sinclair Johnson's last 400 was.
How fast was it?
It was like 58 or 59 seconds. Pretty quick. What are you doing?
Why
are you just like shooing? That's incredible.
Yeah.
That was a world tier type kick. Like that kick at a world championship will get you a medal.
Yeah, the question is with Faith Kipyegon in the race, it's not going to go out that slow.
Correct.
They're not going to go out and let me get the 700-meter split for you here.
All right.
Actually, I don't have it, but yeah, Johnson 403, McGee ran great 404, St. Pierre 405. We're watching the race. I'll give you credit. When St. Pierre went to the front, you thought, is this a little too early of a move? I said no. I said she's the class of the field. She wants to get this thing going. She wants to make this an honest race, and that probably would have worked like last year. But Johnson is right there now, and I mean McGee too was right there, and it shaped up to be. It looked like it was going to be this battle between St. Pierre and McLaughlin, her teammate, for that final swap. But then Schweizer was in the mix too. But we all knew Schweizer was going to scratch anyway, so you sort of had to take her out of the equation. So it was St. Pierre and McLaughlin for that final spot, and they're all so close that this order could be completely flipped in 3 weeks' time. But really good win for Sinclair Johnson this early in her career.
This is her best win.
Yeah, I mean, fourth at pre, and then now this. So
this
she had
better than fourth at pre.
Well, let's ask for athletics first of all before we assign just values to performances. Okay. But the pre was the fast thing with the good the great elite competition.
Yeah,
and then this is the tactical win
with a great kick.
Yeah, exactly. So checks all the boxes.
Very impressed for Johnson. Corey McGee, she made her first team in 2013.
Yeah, 9 years ago. And
she had a stint where she wasn't even making finals.
Yeah.
And now she make back-to-back teams here. Very impressed for Corey McGee. And then St. Pierre, just, making sure she still keeps making teams. She's not what she was, I think, a year ago, where she was kind of one of the top dogs. She's taking a step back, but she's still separating herself farther enough from the rest of the U.S. Talent.
Well, I think she could be there too.
Yeah.
I think a couple things change and she could be right in the mix. Should we do let's see, men's 400 hurdles? No surprises there. Benjamin Rosser, Bassett Hall, Allen, Downing, Latin.
Nothing happened.
Bailey.
We're skipping the 400 hurdles. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Prelims, yeah.
Talk about the men's 110 hurdles.
Oh, yeah.
Grant Holloway does well. Trey Cunningham does well. Devin Allen does well. Trey Cunningham representing Adidas now.
Yes.
Signed with Adidas. So now Adidas have got Holloway and Cunningham, two Florida-based hurdlers.
How do you think that affects their stock price?
I don't know.
Can we pull that up?
We should pull up the
S&P, the Dow.
Yeah, you got Trey Cunningham.
NASDAQ 5,000.
Yeah, buy that dip. No, Cunningham looked good. Allen looked good. Holloway looked good. Obviously, you're not going to get too much from this first round. We'll get a little more understanding of where they're going to be in the semifinals tomorrow.
But then it's too late because then it's already the final.
But then it's already final. But you got some vibes. You interviewed Holloway.
Yeah.
You interviewed Devin Allen.
Yeah.
What is your vibe check on these two? And based on this vibe check, who is winning? Based on the vibe check of Holloway and Allen and Cunningham. You interviewed all three.
Look.
So vibe rankings.
My pick wasn't influenced by the vibes. I had Holloway going in. I'm going to stick with Holloway. What I think is unique and awesome about this event, they know that they're in the spotlight. That one race in New York changed everything.
Yes.
Absolutely everything. And let's just talk about the top two guys. But Cunningham is great and is in the mix and he could win this thing. Let's just talk about Allen.
He did run into a headwind and ran 13-13. Minus 1.6.
Yeah. Holloway and Allen are so comfortable with this being a show, with this being a rivalry. They are wrapping both arms around it, and it is spectacular. And it's a new thing because it's only started a few weeks ago, but you just contrast that with other events and how they deal with the words rival and how they, it's not additive. All that stuff, it just seems like if you're talking about one person, then another person says, well, why are you not talking about me? This, and maybe it's because you get a feeling they're totally cool with each other because Grant Holloway seems cool with everybody. He has John from Let's Run said Grant Holloway has 100% approval rating, and I feel like that's true. Yeah. So maybe that's part of it. It just helps to have someone like Grant in the race, but they're embracing it, and I think it's awesome to see. And I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, Sydney, obviously, I think that's going to stand probably is the performance of the meet, unless there's a world record here. But yeah, I mean, Alan's super confident. He's always been confident. It's like Alan's talking as if like this season was like the only season that ever happened. It's like, yeah, I'm a 1284. Don't worry about it. Winning all these races. And then Grant says he's in world record shape. So,
all right. So your vibe, based on the vibe check and based on previous, so all together, you're still going Holloway Allen?
Yeah, I'm still going Holloway Allen, but my vibe is that the event wins, and this is going to be awesome, not just tomorrow, but at Worlds as well, if both of them come through, because they are both comfortable talking about it, putting themselves out there, not saying, I just want to go out and run my race and wherever it falls, it falls. Like, they are both super comfortable with it.
I'm still going Allen Holloway with the assumption that Holloway ends up winning Worlds.
So Holloway, he walked out of the mix zone, looked at either you or I or both of us. What hand motion did he do? He did something to us. Do you remember?
He said he like waved, did something. I don't know.
He blew a kiss?
Yeah, he didn't blow the kiss.
Yeah, he blew a kiss. Yeah.
I gave him just like a cool
medal.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's hook him. I don't know.
I don't know why you did that. That was weird.
I did that. Maybe I did this. I don't know what I did.
He gave me a fist bump at the beginning of the interview, which kind of threw me off guard right away.
But yeah, I'm still going with Allen first, Holloway second, but with the assumption and expectation that it's going to flip at Worlds.
Yeah,
I think, because I do think, as much as we don't want to think about it, the buy that Holloway has
is in the back of his head.
Somewhere in the back of his head, and he knows it's not the end of the world. Like, this is not everything.
Yeah,
he wants to win, but at the end of the day, he knows that a loss here isn't the final loss.
Here's something I discovered about Grant Holloway back in 2019.
What?
Got that dog in him.
You got the dog in him?
Yeah, he's got that. Because I want, everything's going to plan. You're winning everything, and then Daniel Roberts comes on the scene. And now there's this other guy who can beat you. A lot of athletes, that would throw them off. Yes. Mentally, they would be out of their head.
No, he likes it.
Yeah, he liked it. Came back, ran 12:98, and was like, yeah, put it on my shoulders. Then goes to Europe, has a couple bad races. Nah, it's cool. Goes and wins the world title.
Okay, let's talk about the men's 200 first, and then we'll talk about the women's 200 at the end. Men's 200 at the top. Cool.
I mean, there's not a ton there.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of. I thought it was interesting. So we interviewed Noah. So first of all, talk about the results. Noah Lyles runs 19.9. Everyone gets through. Knighton's obviously through. Kenny B's through. Matthew Bowling, Coleman got through. But Curley did not look good. But I think he has a legitimate excuse because he just ran 900. He just ran 9.7 back to back. So
you think he's not gonna be at the team?
No.
Yeah, he's fine.
I think he's fine, but I do think we have to think that him making the team is going to be harder for him than anyone else. He's going to have the hardest time to make the team because 9.7s do something to your body.
Well, yeah, he ran 2 races on one day, then 1 race, and then remember tomorrow semis and finals.
Yeah,
so that's
a lot. 6 races. Like Coleman is going to have only done 200s beforehand. Yeah. Lyles and Knighton, they're completely fresh. Bowling, he just did a couple long jumps. So Kenny B did do the hundreds, but Kenny B's not beating Curly. But you get the idea. Anyway, so the things I got from it was, one, Curly, he's setting up a hard challenge for him, which I think he can do because, again, he's the fastest man in the world right now. But he's definitely setting up to be hard. Coleman, why did Coleman scratch the 100? You interviewed him.
He said coach's decision. That's what he said. We talked to him. Which, again, we get back to the whole buy conversation here.
Yeah.
If you're Coleman's coach, I totally understand it.
Yeah.
You're on the team regardless. He said he thought he'd be able to mix it up. He talked about, the U.S. team being excited about it, maybe going 1 through 4. Yeah, but he just said coach's decision, which, again, I understand. It's like you want to criticize, they ducked competition. But it's like
he's going to race them.
They don't have any incentive to run. It would have been great if he was in there. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want that empty lane in the final, especially with someone this good. I don't know if he's going to run both races tomorrow, though.
You don't think he's going to do 200?
Well, I think I asked him. Did he say? I'm not listening to it. I think I remember. That was a long time ago. I think he said TBD, but I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah.
This is news?
No, it's not. I posted this a while ago.
No, it's news that he might not run the 200 final?
Well, he said let me pull up my interview here. You keep talking. I'll try to
find it. All right, that's news to me. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. That's news. I didn't pick him to make the team, so it's not that big of a deal to me, but, it's still news. We did interview Arian Knighton. So, you guys got to watch the interview of Knighton. It's on YouTube. We try to ask Knighton, hey, what was your reaction when Lyles ran 19.6 in New York? and he kind of had like a stone face reaction to it. He was kind of like, whatever. He was like very like, didn't affect him, wasn't something on his mind. People are gonna hear that in the thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to play it back for him.
Well, I'm trying to talk about Knight.
Here, I'm gonna go listen to this over here. So
yeah, go listen over there and get the actual thoughts. But back with full screen Gordon. So Knighton's reaction to asking about like, hey, you run 19.4, and then Lyles now just coming off a 19.6. What does that mean to you? And he had a very like poker face, stone face of like, I don't care. He didn't say the phrase "I don't care," but it was like not like the way, Grant Holly be like, what are your thoughts on Devin Allen running 12.8? It's like, hey, man, pushing us. It's going to be great. We're going to have fireworks in the final. And it was a very, like, it came off very mature in my mind. It came off very, like, I'm not trying to be Noah Lyles' little brother. I'm not trying to be, like, the next Noah Lyles. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm up and coming. Because he got fourth at the Olympics. Lyles to him is not the guy he's trying to model. Lyles is the guy he's trying to beat. And I thought that was really impressive. And it kind of, he's still extremely young. He's in high school, but he's treating the competition like he's like a 25-year-old vet. And that's what I got from it.
You were surprised by it in the moment. I immediately told you, I don't know why you're surprised by it. He got fourth in the Olympics.
Yes.
Like, it's not this new thing for him. He was running 1949. He's a world leader. Now you can say, all right, it still would be easy for him as a young athlete coming up to be like, oh, I'm going to defer.
Yeah.
But he's never had that mentality. So that did not surprise me. I listened.
Oh, you listen?
Says he touched his coach. Say no. So,
okay, so coach's decision on that as well.
Coach's decision. So I think Lyles, Knighton, Bednarik, Curley, I think that's the favorites right now, right? So
what about bowling?
No, that was my I'm sticking
Dude,
with my
bowling's going to be good, man. Bowling, he had that smirk on his face when I interviewed him. He said, like...
You're reading a lot into body language.
Dude, body language is everything, bro.
I paid attention to what happened on the track. You were paying way too much attention.
I mean, I'm watching. That's what I'm here for, to get the body language analysis.
Yeah. I mean, bowling, 20.11, Bednarik, 20.10. Yeah, that probably might be the race for that final spot. If you feel good about Knighton and Curley, and then obviously Noah Lyles has the bye. Lyles, you talk about Lyles having COVID?
Lyles had COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone had his COVID.
Yeah.
Right. Benjamin had COVID.
Yeah. Well, Benjamin had COVID and tendonitis and missed a bunch. Lyles thinks he got it, had it in New York, when he ran that fast. He woke up the next day and he said his body was hurting. And he thought, oh, this is kind of a lot. I shouldn't be in this much pain. So he missed some time with training. So doing two 200s tomorrow, we'll see. I think we're gonna get a lot of we'll sees here. We can see some scratches tomorrow. I hope he runs. I think it'll be amazing.
We're gonna see some. If he's Lyles is gonna scratch,
he might. Any person who has a bye can scratch.
I don't like that.
Who has had the bye? Who's run all the way through? Niali scratched.
No, yeah.
Joe
Kovacs.
Mohammed, he threw. Yeah,
he threw all 6 throws.
Yeah, I guess Allman threw, and
maybe in running events.
Mohammed scratched.
Right.
I mean, Grant said he's going to run all the way through. So I don't know. I don't want to get our hopes up and have them dashed.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I got a vibe that Knighton is now 25 and not a teenager. I got the vibe that Lyles is excited for fireworks. I got the vibe that bowling is going to have a big PB, smile on his face. Yeah, that smirk.
If you just
smile to Gordon. It drew me in.
Just smile at Gordon and he'll think.
I do think Kenny B, though, is going to do extremely well. I think Kenny B might even find a way to get second in this race. And then Curley, man, he's making it hard on himself. But we'll see if he's able to recover well.
Hold on.
And put it together.
He'll only be making it hard on himself if the semi is a struggle and he gets a bad lane for the final.
Yeah.
He probably won't get a great lane, although he was a big Q qualifying. He'll be fine. If it will become a story if he gets a bad lane for the final.
I think this 200 men's final is going to be a bigger firework than that men's final. I think we're like the men. I think we are 24 hours away from a holy shit moment in this men's 200.
Didn't Knighton think only 19.6 would win? That'd be interesting.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I really do think,
I think so.
There's a ticking time bomb in Eugene during the 200, and it's gonna go off.
Okay. Well,
not a literal bomb.
I don't know.
Was it-
I don't know. I'd hope so. Women's 200. What's up about women's 200? Steiner, top qualifier, 22:14. Go through the heat winners. Gabby Thomas won the first heat. She's dealing with a hamstring issue. That's why she was out. She told me that after the race. Steiner won the second heat. Prandini won the third heat, and Tamara Clark won the fourth heat. Pretty much chalk all around. Richardson ran, which is what people were wondering.
Brittany Brown getting third in the heat. That's a little surprising. Brittany Brown was running incredible earlier in the year.
Tamara Clark, I think, could get on this team. That's not a surprise. But Richardson, there's second behind Thomas.
That's the big question. So we weren't sure if we would see Richardson in the 200 after what happened in the 100. Richardson decides to run the 200. She had a bad lane. It wasn't a fast time. Time you can kind of ignore because it's kind of just, you can compare it to the other athletes. But she was there with Gabby Thomas for the most part.
Yeah.
And Gabby Thomas is one of the top 2 favorites. So it's kind of hard to figure it out off of this first round.
Yeah.
But does Sha'Carri Richardson have a chance? What's the percent chance that Sha'Carri finishes top 3?
Makes the team?
Yeah. Because I think Abby is a lock now. Because she looked good in this prelim.
Yeah.
Gabby is the question mark because of the injury.
Yeah, that's where.
And then there's that third spot.
Yeah, but here's all the people not named Gabby Thomas and Abby Steiner that ran faster. Now, a lot of people just shut this down, but Prandini, Flannel, Battle, Mitchell, White, Clark, and Sturgis. There's still a lot of people there that you have to beat.
Yeah.
30%? Is that too high?
30% chance?
20%?
So 30%, if she makes the final, does it go up?
No. Well, yes, that's how percentages work. I'm saying not to make the final. I'm saying 30% to make the team.
So 30% chance to make the team.
Yeah.
So then what? Not applicable?
You set these hypotheticals to me and put me on the spot, and then you don't answer them. So it's a good thing.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. I'll probably put it. I think it's lower. I think it's more like 15%.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with it. It's just pulling a time out here.
But again, she has run very well lately. Obviously, that 11:31 is the crazy mark. But she ran well at New York Grand Prix.
In the 2, yeah.
She's been running some good hundreds.
Yeah. I just look at this. So, and I didn't even mention Brown ran the heat slower than her, but we saw her in the 100 and looked pretty good, and we know what she can do in the 200. Prandini is legit.
Prandini
in the
is
200.
the one. I think Prandini is probably.
There's a lot of depth there, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depth there.
I just think that maybe Sha'Carri's never been a 200-meter runner, right? So there's this. That's a factor as well. She's not as experienced at this event the way some of these other women are.
Yeah.
Prandini, has been around. Gabby Thomas obviously been around in the 200. So there's a lot of disadvantages for Sha'Carri, but she's also incredibly talented. So disadvantages plus talent. What does it end up? Does it end up top 3? I don't know. I'm going 15%. If she looks good in the semis, I'll probably bump it to 40% chance.
Yeah. The whole thing can change in 22 seconds.
So
the whole thing can change.
But yeah, it's exciting that she did it. I wasn't sure if she would attempt the 200, but she's going for it.
Yeah.
I tried to get an interview with her. She used USATF official to not get the interview.
Well, she didn't need USATF official. She could walk down there.
Why is the USATF official walking?
Well, I know that's a different story. But
people walk through this. Fred Curley walked without a USATF.
Yeah. I don't think she said I needed someone help.
No, she didn't say anything, but they're trying to. So
field events. Winger. Kara Winger gets it done.
She won?
Another team. Yeah, man. 64-26. Great performance for her on the last throw. Well, I guess she was in the lead before that, but her big throw came on the last throw. Maggie Malone, who was co-favorite or maybe the favorite, scratch. Didn't get a valid throw. So, but I don't know what the world championship stuff is. I know
I think that she's going to get invited by world ranking, and they'll give it to her.
Men's pole vault, Chris Nielsen, 570. Men's hammer, talked about it. Daniel Ha versus Rudy Winkler, age-old battle. Ha, 80.18, said he had been dreaming his whole life to get 80 meters, and he did it.
And the first throw.
He was so pumped after hitting it on that first throw. So that was Awesome for him. And then we had the triple jump. Women's triple jump. Couture Orgy
The
gets
big
it
three
done. Yeah,
all made it.
yeah. Orgy, Franklin, and more. I wonder if I had the correct order on that one. Maybe I should just predict more triple jump. Maybe that's the key to success. Should we go to the chat?
Before we go to the chat,
Gordon hasn't had the chat open, by the way. That's why I haven't been talking about it. So
we just lost a lot of viewers all of a sudden.
well, come back, everybody.
Yeah, what happened?
Where did we go? What are we up to here? Does this have a thingamajig?
Yeah, everyone was like, I'm out. And then
Yeah.
they came back. Did the stream go down maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe the stream went out.
Hit refresh. All right. Questions? Or you said before we go to the chat. What do you want to
Well, like, what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
High hurdles. Men's
High hurdles?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to Sha'Carri. See what she does. I mean, let's be honest, we're all going to be watching. We all want to know.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
You don't care anymore? Come on.
I mean, I care. I'm interested in her competing or whether or not she competes, but that high hurdle race is just awesome.
Yes.
I'm pumped about it. Like I said, there's two or three guys like really embracing the moment that the event has given them. So I'm excited about.
A thing, Mo, that'd be fun. Maybe she can flirt with a fast time.
Yeah, it's not just that, but that would be the highlight. If I could only watch one race tomorrow, it would be the men's high hurdles. So it's starting an hour earlier tomorrow because the heat, and the men's and women's 5,000s are going first. Women 10:30 a.m. local time. Men after that. You also got men's triple, women's steeple, men's high jump, men's jav, men's 8, men's 400 hurdles, women's 8, men's 2. I mean, men's 2 has the potential.
I think men's 2 is gonna be crazy.
To be crazy. Women's 2.
Women's 2 is gonna be good too, bro.
Men's high hurdles. There's a reason men's high hurdles is last.
Yeah, because they don't want to take down the hurdles and put them back up.
That's true. Yeah. Hurdle crew is only going to
them
come up there once. Well, you got the 400 hurdles though.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, questions in the chat, comments in the chat. Here he says, "Are we overlooking Gabby Thomas?" Well, if someone's injured and she said she hadn't been able to run her sprint, she said recently. That's tough. That's very, very tough. So obviously, if she's at her best, she's favorite to win, or at worst finish second. But you're off by just a tiny bit, and you're out of the mix. So let's see. 200 is Sha'Carri's favorite event. She might do better than expected. Yeah. But what is the expectation at this point? I think even if she had won or made the team in the 100, I still think the 200 would have been tough sledding.
Oh, yeah.
Just because how deep it is and how, again, her history in the event. Someone says, Gordon, please talk to us about what the mindset of these men's 1,500 meter runners is. Why are guys lacking the standard sitting back and allowing the race to go 3:45? I don't get it.
It's because it's just the mentality of these pro athletes. It's very rare for them to care about time. Like every coach says you're going to have your highest place finish if you care more about winning a race and if you care about a time.
Right.
Everyone who has ever tried to hit a time in a 1,500 championship race has always finished like 10th. It never works.
Not Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
No, but like a time where like you haven't trying to like set a new big PB.
Yeah.
Like in a tactical, like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like you see it at Olympic trials when you saw like Jordan McNamara go out hard or Will Lear try to go for it.
They also don't try that much. Let's be honest. And when they try, I tried for 200 and then I tucked back in. Yeah. No one went with me. It's 2022. They got the shoes. They're putting themselves out there. I think you just got to go for it. But yeah, every miler thinks they can kick. That's the problem.
Kevin A said, why is Matt Bowling your favorite runner? He's not my favorite runner. Why do you think he's better than the Olympians? I don't think he's better than Olympians. I just think he can maybe get fourth.
Yeah.
Which is
good. Well, 20, yeah, his time today was solid. I mean, he's on the long jump team already. Yeah. Yard went out at ACCs last year, went solo, ran 3:34. Yes, that's what I'm saying. We are in a different era, which is similar to earlier eras too, because it hasn't always just been all tactical all the time. There is something about U.S. championship racing that makes people even more conservative. And I think part of it is, okay, yeah, I might get this, what are the odds of me getting the standard and finishing in the top 3 if I go out there and I'm the sacrificial lamb? They don't think they can do it. So then they come back. And then someone like John Davis probably is just over the moon that he got second. mean, he would have loved to have been on the world team, but he never probably imagined he could get runner-up in this race.
Yeah.
If you told him ahead of time, what did he get at NCs?
He was like top 3. He did well at NCs.
Yeah.
He got second. Maybe he got second at NCs.
Okay, but even still.
Yeah. Jaden Persona, Bowling can't get 4th in a 200. LOL. He can. There's a chance he won't because it's going to be very hard, but I think he can. I mean, I think if he doesn't get 4th, he gets 5th.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say that. I do think Bowling is that fringe next guy. Like, he's the best fringe guy. Like, there's the elite guys, the Knightons, the Lyles, the Benerics, the Curleys, and then there's Bowling kind of on an island, and then there's the rest of the field.
We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see.
I mean, you're reading a lot into an opening round of a 200 where guys shut it down early.
No, I'm reading into like his whole season. Like, remember?
No. I'm not saying he's not good, not a good runner. I'm just saying where he stacks up relative to all these other people. A lot of people just completely chilled today.
No, yeah, I think there's a group of 4. I think that 4 is Lyles, Knighton, Curley, Bednarik, because they've done it before.
Yeah,
they've shown that they are that guy.
Yeah.
Then I think Bowling and Coleman are like that group. Coleman's probably going to scratch, but I think Bowling's like on by himself, and then there's everyone else.
All right,
that's my analysis.
Yeah. When we're gonna have a race to decide all those things, I'm just gonna wait 24 hours.
All right, we'll wait 24 hours.
Wait 24 hours.
What chat wanted to know.
Okay, what else? Anything else in the chat? Shamir Little. Yes, DC Knoll. Thank you for bringing her up. Yeah, all the history of her in the event, sometimes coming in as a favorite, at least a favorite to make the team, and then not making it. She said she was. It was a great interview. I haven't posted it up yet, but be sure to check it out. Congrats to her for making a team. She actually trains with Britton Wilson in Fayetteville. So it's kind of interesting, like a veteran and someone who's new to the sport running and training together. So yeah, Shamir Little gets it done. Remember all those years it was so tough because it's like, is it going to be her and Ashley Spencer and Corey Carter and then Dalila and Sydney, all those, and it was just so brutal that one of them had to be left off. And then Anna Cockrell obviously had her rise, but yeah, she got it done. She got it done today. Gordon's taken the chat off and is now looking at what is Jamaican 400 meter.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at Jamaican. So the 200 is later today.
It's not till 8:30.
Yeah, so we're gonna miss it.
What is that? 8:30.
I don't know. We're gonna miss it. It's fine.
Go back to the chat here. Any last questions? Josephus and Isaiah Young probably on par with Bowling. Yeah, I mean Josephus, I picked him as my sleeper. So
no, Josephus and Isaiah Young are not on par with Bowling. They are in tier 3.
You don't have to.
They're in the
convince me
Bowling tier.
That Josephus is gonna get to this final.
Josephus look good. He looks strong too.
Yeah,
he looks jacked. He's been lifted.
He's ready to go. Robert says, I think Tamara Clark's being slept on. Yeah, there's a
lot of people being slept on.
There's a big group out there. Yeah. Someone said Cherokee Young just won her 400 semi in Jamaica. There we go.
See?
Live update.
Updates.
Is that breaking news? Cole,
breaking
can
news.
You play the breaking news sound?
We need breaking news sound effects. All right.
This is it.
I think we gotta end this pod. We're gonna be back. Again, we're starting an hour earlier, so it'll be 5:00 Central.
Lot to talk about.
To talk about tomorrow. Me and Kevin got.
Wait, did we check with
the
Colt that he can start an hour earlier?
I did ask. He said yes.
Okay, cool.
But I also could be putting words in his mouth.
Colt, can you get on? Can you turn your mic on?
I think he's right. I think he said
good
yes.
to go.
You can't hear him.
I know, but I'm doing it for you.
He said yeah.
I'll be there.
Good. So 5:00 tomorrow. Day 4. We'll recap it. It's been a fun week.
Yeah. We need to get these interviews uploaded.
Yes, and then we need to get dinner, and then we need to go to Wild Duck and have a few brewskis. Thanks, everyone. Like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Thanks for joining us on this journey.